dying like flies.
I am the king!
Fuck the king.
Ora, pessoal, sejam bem-vindos ao quarto episódio da primeira parte da primeira temporada de Game of Thrones. Vão ser 6 temporadas e eu estou a curtir o jogo. Completamente diferente daquilo que nós temos jogado no canal, mas está muito fixe. E sendo um jogo da Telltale Games, é brutal, é muito louco mesmo, muito fixe mesmo. Por isso, cá vamos nós. Estamos a começar agora esta terceira parte do primeiro episódio. Vamos ver o que é que se passa aqui no Ironwood Box. Vou dar uma checada. Ok, a carva de Ironwood Tree.
Ethan made this for me.
Oh. Unfinished letter. Read
Father.
the letter.
Much excitement here in King's Landing for the coming wedding. Lady Marjorie has proven to be quite popular throughout the city. I do wish you and Mother could come, although I know it would be impossible under the circumstances. I miss all of you, and I look forward to the day you can.
Ok, já vimos tudo o que havia para ver.
It was very
Aqui mais
kind of
coisas
Lady
para ver.
Marjorie to give this to me. It once belonged to Lady Elena. Asher sent me this coin to remember him. What a strange place, Essos.
Essos é um sítio estranho. Cuidado com as mãos, pá, não te aleixes. Está aqui um livro. Vamos ver o que é que se passa com o livro.
Wonders Made by Man, by Lomas Longstrider. A gift from Roderick.
Olha, que morreu
I hope to see them all
num dos
someday.
episódios passados. Não, já não vais ver. Nem ele, nem o Lord Forrester.
King's Landing. I wonder if it's sunny at Ironrath today.
Impossível. Nunca está bom tempo em Ironrath. Vamos lembrar um bocado o Porto. O que mais é que está aqui? Está aqui mais uma carta. Ok.
It troubles me to even ask this of you, but you must appeal to Lady Marjorie to intervene on our behalf. She is our best hope, and can be a powerful ally, especially now when your family so desperately needs her help.
Ok, temos que pedir ajuda à Lady Margaret. Agora parece para mim que alguém vai aqui na porta. Open
One
the
moment.
door. Please.
Oh,
I'll leave
sorry,
Karen.
milady. I didn't mean to disturb you. I can come back later if you'd like.
Later would be best.
Of course, ma'am.
Por acaso não era isso que eu ia fazer. Mas pronto. Também está bom.
Lady Marjorie, you're early.
I was hoping there would be time for us to talk. Come, there's something we must discuss.
Atrás dela.
From the day you arrived in Highgarden, I've thought of you more as a friend than as my handmaiden. A dear friend, in fact.
Thank you, my lady.
And you know how I feel about what's happened to your family. I feel your pain as if it were my own. What you've suffered is beyond imagining. And your poor family as well.
My family wrote me, my lady.
I don't doubt they must be overcome with grief. But you must not despair. We will get through this together. You must understand there are limits to what I can say, especially here in King's Landing, now that I am to be queen. to have a handmaiden from the north whose family fought for Robb Stark? It raises questions at a time I can least afford. Cersei herself cornered me this morning outside the Royal Sept. She mentioned the northern girl in my service, and she painted you a traitor. She was very pleased with herself. Her face was full of mirth as she said it.
I'm not a traitor.
Of course not. It's only an excuse to torment you, and by extension, me. She demands an audience. She wants an apology of some sort, for what I don't know, but she's waiting for us now, and I promised I would bring you to her. I wouldn't ask this of you if it were not important. I cannot afford any conflict with Cersei with the wedding so near.
I'll do as you ask, my lady.
Nós temos que ser amigos,
I
não é?
knew I could trust you. Humor her. Tell her what she wants to hear.
Ok, vamos
See if the
tentar
Queen
fazer isso.
Regent is ready to receive us. You'll be fine. I know you will. You may feel one thing, but you must say another.
Ok. Vamos tentar.
Good luck.
Vamos nós. Olha o anão. E a
You can do
Cersei.
this.
And the Iron Throne? Não, não se chama Iron Throne. Acho que é o Iron Throne. É o trono do King's Landing.
Ah, Lady Marjorie.
Não é?
Aren't you looking lovely this evening?
Lord Tyrion.
Não posso dizer
Your
por ti.
Grace? With your permission, allow me to introduce Lady Mira of House Forrester.
Your Grace.
The girl knows her courtesies. Impressive. You may rise.
Porca.
House Forrester is a northern house loyal to the king.
Are they?
I beg your pardon, Your Grace.
I wasn't talking to you. I want to hear from the girl. Is your family loyal to the king?
Perhaps you should ask the new Lord Forrester.
He's not here, is he? She is.
Joffrey is the one true king, Your Grace.
And yet,
Ok.
for centuries the Forresters have been loyal bannermen to House Stark. A house of traitors.
Yes, Your Grace. They are traitors.
The Starks were your liege lord, yet you name them traitors so easily. I take it this is the kind of loyalty the king can expect from you. If you have any loyalty at all. Is your house willing to swear fealty to your new liege lord, Roose Bolton?
Yes, Your Grace. Absolutely.
I see. Despite the fact Roose Bolton allied with Walder Frey. If it was me, I'd find it difficult to so quickly forgive the men who killed my father.
Ui, complicado. Não
Old
podemos ir
allegiances are
tão...
not easily abandoned. But now that the war is over, we must look to rebuild and forge new alliances. There are ships and shields to be built, and Joffrey will need a steady supply of ironwood for his armies. I'm told there are others who would happily serve that purpose, but I trust we can rely on House Forrester.
Forrester Ironwood does seem rather unique.
To our mutual benefit, Your Grace.
And at the pleasure of your king. It would be a shame to see it fall into the hands of another house. I imagine you'd do almost anything to prevent that from happening, wouldn't you? Ask any Lannister, and they'd do whatever was necessary to save Casterly Rock. It would be unfortunate to see another house lay claim to what's yours.
Yes, Your Grace. I would do anything.
I see.
What would you have the girl do,
Não quer dizer que
Cersei?
seja verdade, não
It's
é?
not as if she fought beside the Starks, wielding a battle axe for the Northern Army.
Só porque não
Raises
posso.
an interesting question, I suppose. Can we truly blame those who end up on the wrong side of the war? Our dear Marjorie here was betrothed to Renly Baratheon on the false assumption that he would one day rule the Seven Kingdoms. Can we fault her for her mistake? Should she be held accountable?
I'm sure she regrets it.
Perhaps. Perhaps not.
If there's a point to this, I hope you find it quickly.
Loyalty can be such a
adoro
hard
Tyrion
thing to
Lannister.
define. This city alone is filled with all sorts of ambitious opportunists looking to reinvent themselves, pretending to be something they're not. Who knows what lurks within their hearts? You are a girl from the north, here in service to Lady Marjorie. One can only assume her interests are yours. Yet loyalty to a king, that must be absolute, beyond question. And if your loyalties were to become conflicted between your king and the very person whom you serve, what would you do then?
I'm sure she
Let the
would...
girl answer the question. Go on.
My loyalties would never conflict, Your Grace.
That's a coward's answer. I will not have my time wasted by a northern girl who thinks she can play games. Who do you choose?
The king, of course.
Well said. I was beginning to worry you didn't have your priorities straight.
She is a
É
threat
difícil
to the
jogar
crown, isn't she? The most
com a
dangerous
Cersei.
handmaiden in all of King's Landing.
My sense is this girl will say almost anything to get what she wants. Which is not very encouraging. I'd like a word with you, if I may.
Of course, Your Grace.
Jeitoso.
I'll walk you out. This may come as a surprise, but I met your father once, at the tourney at Lannisport. Even then he didn't trust Roose Bolton. We only spoke briefly, but your father struck me as an honorable man. You have my condolences for his loss. These would be trying times for your family, even under the best of circumstances.
Thank you, Lord Tyrion. That's very kind of you to say.
That certainly took courage. To so publicly declare your loyalty to Joffrey for all to hear. Poor Lady Marjorie was humiliated, although Cersei seemed quite pleased. It was quite the first impression. I, of course, found it all highly entertaining.
I was trying to appease her.
I think that was clear to everyone. My sister and I have our differences. She takes great pleasure in her little charades. I take mine in thwarting them. We must find our amusements where we can. She threatened to give your ironwood to another house. It is the Master of Coin who decides such matters. The Crown needs boats. Boats need wood, and I speak for the Crown in this regard. Not her.
What are you suggesting?
I suppose the Crown could be persuaded to secure ironwood from House Forrester. Lady Marjorie might not look favorably on such an alliance. And it would infuriate Cersei. Although what would be amusing for me might prove rather dangerous for you and your house. Are you willing to risk that? It may be far too dangerous.
It's a risk I'm willing to take, Lord Tyrion. Please.
You are a brave girl, aren't you? I'll consider it. Now, if you'll excuse me, I promised Sansa I would join her for dinner tonight. 3 beautiful bottles of Dornish wine await my arrival. The mere thought of them makes me thirsty already.
I hope we meet again.
Nothing would make Cersei happier. Until then, be careful. This is not the North. King's Landing can be a nest of vipers to the uninitiated.
Ok, será que vamos falar agora um bocadinho?
Mira, I was worried. How was it?
Espera aí que ainda não acabou.
Cersei has a way of looking at you as though you're nothing. It's more than a little intimidating.
It went well.
Really? That's a relief. Cersei is known for being rather difficult. Lady Marjorie has spent the entire day working on seating arrangements for the wedding. Of course, you and I are seated way at the back, here with the 4th cousins and the 9th-born sons. Ah, Sir Jaime. I wouldn't mind tarnishing that white cloak of his.
Sarah!
What? It's true. And Oberyn Martell, the Red Viper. I'm told he has a paramour, which I doubt is Dornish for wife.
You'll get us in trouble.
We're just having some fun. Perhaps Lady Marjorie could make the right introductions. Who knows? We might meet our future husbands. Although, marrying a king, I can only imagine what that would be like. Would you marry Joffrey if it meant you'd become queen? He does have a certain look about him, and he's always treated Lady Marjorie well.
I'd marry anyone if it helped my family.
Right, of course. Well, I would marry him.
Good answer.
Imagine the power you would have as Queen of the 7 Kingdoms. I might even allow you to be my handmaiden. Let's see, who else should we marry off? Brienne of Tarth and Tyrion Lannister. What a perfect match! Sir Bronn and...
What are you doing? Well?
I'm sorry, my lady.
As am I. We shouldn't have been messing about.
This is not a game. It's a battle plan. Allies and enemies can be made with every move. Yet they say it is men who are powerful. The Queen was pleased by your display, Mira. I'm just glad it's over. King's Landing can be exhausting sometimes. There's always someone to please or some perceived slight to smooth over. I fear it will only get worse when I am queen.
Once they know your true heart, the lords and ladies will have no choice but to love you.
Do you agree?
It doesn't matter what you feel. It only matters what you say.
You learn very quickly. You were brave agreeing to obey the Boltons. That cannot have been easy. I know you must fear what Lord Bolton might do to your family. I do appreciate your willingness to appease her, as difficult as it may have been.
Thank you, my lady. There's been something on my mind. Something important. I did have a favor to ask of you in return.
Whatever you wish to say, you can say it in front of Sarah. There are no secrets between us.
It's about my family.
I trust her. Go on. Ask.
Forgive me, my lady. I wouldn't otherwise ask this of you, but my mother insisted. It's about my family.
Ramsay Snow. What would you have me do?
My mother fears our family will suffer if Ramsay is left to do as he likes. She thought, if a raven could be sent to the Boltons to let them know House Forrester has the protection of the crown. I know it's a lot to ask of you, and I wouldn't otherwise, but she insisted.
That is no small request, especially now.
I know, my lady, and I wouldn't ask this of you otherwise. But my mother has left me no choice. She insisted.
Joffrey knows only too well your family fought for the Starks, and now you would have me ask him to intervene? Is the situation that dire?
You can't, my lady. King Joffrey won't like it. Just think how he turned on Lady Sansa. My mother feels it is urgent, my lady. She's unfamiliar with King's Landing and its politics. I hope you can understand that.
Very well. I'll make your request, but I cannot promise anything.
Thank you, my lady. I will send a raven to my family at once.
Ok. O tipo de decisões que altera o jogo. E bem, acho que acabamos esta parte. Acho que acabamos agora esta parte da primeira parte da primeira temporada de Games of Thrones, pessoal. Eu estou a curtir mesmo bem. E estou com bem da vontade de terminar de gravar a série completa, a primeira temporada completa, que é para poder ir checar outros Let's Plays cá aí. Em português temos o The Man with the R, que eu vou deixar na descrição, e o X-Fan Protest. Eu sei que pelo menos estes dois estão a fazer, são pessoas que eu conheço, são youtubers que eu conheço e que estão a fazer também Game of Thrones. Se vocês não tiverem problemas com spoilers, ok, porque o jogo depois também segue ser de maneiras diferentes, cada um de nós joga de maneira diferente. Se vocês não quiserem spoilers, tipo, esperem pelo final da minha season ou da minha primeira temporada, se não passem nos canais deles, tanto o X-Fan Protest como do Man in the R, with the R, nome complicado, hein? Ou The Man. Eu tenho certeza que as séries deles de Game of Thrones também estão a ser excelentes, ok? E eu estou com vontade de acabar em vinha, mesmo, tipo, capaz de gravar o mais depressa possível, que é para poder ir ver, porque estou mesmo com aquele bichinho mesmo bué da grande ver. Estou a curtir mesmo bué do jogo, pessoal. Eu sei que é diferente, eu sei que é estranho. Para começar, vocês têm que ter visto a série Game of Thrones. Se ainda não viram, se não acompanharam a série, vão ver a série, porque é mesmo excelente. E se forem daquele tipo de pessoas como eu que gostam de ler, eu estou sempre a ler, tenho sempre um livro para ler, vão ler os livros Game of Thrones, porque os livros ainda são melhores do que a série. E o jogo, acho eu, o jogo está mais próximo dos livros do que propriamente da série na televisão. Tem um bocado de histórias diferentes, mas também se percebe. Seja como for, pessoal, isto Game of Thrones, 4º episódio. Estamos de volta para o 5º episódio desta primeira temporada de Game of Thrones. Isto é o Tuga.Daves. Abraços e beijinhos, boas festas, Feliz Natal e bom Ano Novo.